James Calvert, good morning. What can you tell me about your vehicle, please?
This is Chaz. My affectionately named before he ever came to me, so I kept it. He's a 1965 split screen. I've only had him for about a year. So previous owner did most of the good work on him.
I noticed it's a left hooker, so is it an original German vehicle?
It is a German vehicle, yeah, a German ambulance actually. Was an emergency response vehicle over in Germany for the Red Cross. Came over to the UK 10 years ago and converted about 5 years ago into a wedding bus.
And do you actually operate it as a business?
We do, yeah. We have Chaz here. We have Tilly as well, which is a 69 bay window ragtop, and then a couple of Beetles, a classic and a modern cabriolet as well. So.
And how many miles has this vehicle done?
Well, we don't know. It says 50,000 on the clock. Whether I believe that or not, I'm not entirely sure. He's had an engine while I've been with him, so I'm not entirely sure.
Have you had much restoration work to do on it?
Not me, no. The previous owner, I understand, did a lot of restoration work on him. He originally came in a very light grey, was his original colour, with the Red Cross emblem where the VW sign would have been, and the blue light on top and everything. But that was all done prior to me, when he was just after he was imported.
Right, and how far have you come with it today?
I've just come from Darlington in County Durham.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, James. It's been good talking to you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Cheers. Bernie Lum, a rather splendid looking Volkswagen Beetle. How long have you had it?
I've owned the car for 18 years. It was purchased in 1991 as a £100 basket case, and then several garages and lots of hard work, and this is the final result. It's
looking very good for it too. Has it got anything particularly interesting in its history that you know of?
Not really. It was just languishing in a garage. I might even be only the third owner actually, so...
Fantastic. And how many sort of miles has it done?
Very few, due to work commitments and things. I haven't used it that much.
Have you done all the restoration work yourself, or have you had it done professionally?
Some of the suspension, the lowering of the front suspension, was done by Leon of Herbie Hospital fame. But the rest of it, it's all my own work.
Very good. And what do you like about the car?
I think it's really my interpretation of the early 90s Cal look scene that I haven't changed, whilst everybody else has probably gone to old school and put resto bits and pieces back on. I've kept it very, very much as the concept that I initially wanted. It's really a rolling piece of British Cal look history, to be honest with you, because they're not around here like this anymore.
Can I, just for the uninitiated, does that mean is Cal as in California?
Yeah, the California look really obviously stemmed from the California scene in the late 60s and early 70s, and then it really broke into this country big time, late 70s, really through the 80s into the 90s.
And have you driven it here today, and how far have you come?
I've come from Wakefield, it's not too far.
Excellent. Thanks, Bernie. I'll let you get on with your polishing now. Right, I'm here at the graffiti display. This is Dave McCormack, and he's going to tell me what this is all about. David?
Hiya. We opened up for people to apply on the website to have the vehicles graffitied. We've got about 40 applications, and then we work that down to about 6 cars, after cars. So the owners bring the vehicles, and then during the day at the show, we paint the cars live for everyone to watch. So we're masking up at the moment. We'll have about 20 minutes to mask all the vehicles up, then we'll start painting them throughout the day. We've got a couple of cars in at the moment, then we've got 4 more cars to bring in as the day goes on.
How did this graffiti business on cars begin?
There's a guy who set up a company called Autograph, so they started doing some graffiti work about 5 years ago now, the first show, and came along to promote their business. And all the other cars that we've got around are all the work that they're doing away from the show through their own company.
And what do the owners get out of it, having this graffiti on their vehicles?
They get to drive around in a car that's got a fantastic one-off design that no one else is going to have.
Do you have a vehicle that's graffitied?
I do, so I got involved. I've got a beach buggy that's got some skulls and lightning painting on the bonnet.
So it's cool.
It's cool, very cool.
Dave, thanks very much indeed. Cheers. John, this is a very original looking motor car. How long have you owned it?
3 years now, and it was already mostly restored when we had it. Yeah, it's been a constant restoration for the last 10 years, since 2000. Yeah.
What particular model is this one?
This is a standard T1 Beetle, 1964, not the deluxe, just the normal.
Engine size?
1200.
How far have you come today in it?
Well, we live in the Lake District in Kendal, so we've come. It's about 2 hours away, so we've come right across the Pennines, really. Yeah, we do one or two local ones around this in the north. Only the north normally.
It does look very original. Has it had much restoration work done to it?
It's had a complete. In the year 2000, the body was completely off, and it was totally restored. And then the engine was restored in about 2003 by Terry's Beetles down in London. Look Theachari. So it's had some fairly. And Bernard Newbury did the interior, so it's had some fairly well-known names of. It's been through them, so yeah, it's been quite well.
And have you always been a Volkswagen car owner?
Yes, since I was 18 we had a Splitty, which I wish I'd have kept, but as usual you don't, and we've had just about every Volkswagen, variants and Beetles, and I guess this might be the last one we ever have. We'll just keep this one forever, I think, 'cause this is possibly the best.
I'm going to say, it looks good enough to last for the rest of your life, really, doesn't it?
My children will take it out. This will be their inheritance, I guess.
That's good to hear, John.
That's the plan.
Well, thanks very much for your time today. Thanks very much. Cheers. Why should an Audi be at a Volkswagen festival? Well, this gentleman here, Kevin, is going to explain the connection between Audis and Volkswagens, particularly this vehicle.
This actual vehicle is derived from the Mark V Golf. The two companies work hand in hand, really, Volkswagen and Audi, but this one's derived from the Mark V mainly.
Is there anything particularly special about this car of yours?
It's just the SE model, and I've customised it myself with Mercedes wheels, painted roof, and just a few other little bits and bobs, really.
How long have you owned it?
Nearly 2 years now.
Do you like it?
Love it.
What do you get out of it?
The enjoyment of the audio and just the smoothness of the ride and just the quality of the build.
Oh, okay, thanks a lot. Cheers. Neil Wright, can you tell me exactly what type of vehicle this is, please?
It's a 1967 split-screen Devon conversion camper van. It's been in the family since about 1968, 1969, when my granddad bought it in Keighley, about 2 years old. And he travelled all over Europe with my grandma, did about 80,000 miles around Europe, and showed it many years until about 2 years ago when he handed it down to me, and I've looked after it ever since.
Wow, that's very fortunate. It's got a very interesting history. How many miles has it done?
It's done 156 in total now, 156,000.
And is that on the original engine and gearbox?
No, it had a new engine at 87,000 when my dad borrowed it for a holiday and blew it up.
Good old dad.
Yeah, my granddad's never let him forget it. But the gearbox is all original. Nearly every single panel on the van's original. It's had a few blow-ins on the lower half, but I'd say 95% of the top colour is all original. It's got a few little add-ons on the interior that my granddad's sort of customised as he went along to try to improve certain aspects of it, comfort-wise. My real bugbear with it, the only part that isn't original on the interior, is the two front seats, because my granddad felt that the originals were very uncomfortable. Doing a lot of miles around Europe, he decided to throw them away and replace them with a free set that he got out of a scrapyard.
I think considering the mileage he's done it, I think we'll allow him to do that, don't you?
I think we can only allow him that. He still thinks it was a good upgrade, but I, unfortunately, as it's a show car, I'd prefer to have just the original seats in there.
Well, that is fantastic, and I guess you're a very proud owner of it, and you'll be looking after it for the rest of your life, I should imagine.
It'll never leave our family. I'll pass it down to my kids, hopefully, and yeah.
Fantastic, Neil. Thanks very much indeed for telling us about it. Thank you. Richard Clark, what can you tell me about this beautiful black Beetle of yours?
It's a 1950 split window, which is incredibly rare. It was imported from Sweden in 1995, so it's been restored over the last sort of 14 years, which we finished in around about May time. Because it's 1950 and the parts themselves are actually worth quite a lot, what's happened is a lot of people, when they have the cars, they sell the parts on. So because the car came with some things we needed, it was then a matter of just then sourcing the internet and getting parts from as far away as Australia, Argentina, Germany, America, just to get it so it's finished. Yeah, even the fabric. The fabrics come from the original fabric manufacturers who supplied VW back in the 50s.
Now, Richard, I do notice that it doesn't probably look exactly like it did when it came out of the factory. Why is it looking like it is?
Well, two reasons really. One, I've had standard Beetles before and they're incredibly slow. Now, some people love that, but from my point of view, yeah, it's good, but I'd rather have a bit of power. So we put a big engine in the back, but it is a standard Beetle engine. We've bought Porsche brakes, Porsche wheels, all of the parts bolt on. So there's no body alterations being made. So I've got all the parts at home. So for any purists out there, to put it back to stock, which literally would be half a day.
Even left to right-hand drive.
Yeah, we even converted to right-hand drive because I hate driving left-hand drive, but VW knew the pressings were there. So they did the pressings. All we've done is punch through the pressings that were there, put the right-hand drive steering column in, but it is the left-hand drive column. Left-hand drive, so we can convert it back. So for the purists who may watch this and say, oh, we shouldn't have done it, honestly, it's so easy to convert back. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
And Rachel?
Yes.
What do you particularly like about the car?
It's shiny, shiny, shiny. And it goes really fast too, and it's a great noise. It's lovely, it's really nice, yeah.
Well, thanks very much for telling us about it today, and it's good to see you. I hope you continue to enjoy it. I'm sure you will. Hello, Dean. What can you tell us about your vehicle?
Well, it's a 1977 twin sliding door panel van. It's original from this country, and I've owned it since October last year.
So have you done all these modifications?
Yeah, I've done everything on it, yeah. When I bought it, there were rust everywhere, and wheel arches were gone, and bottoms at doors and everything. So I started in that far corner there and just worked my way down over last winter. So.
And what do you particularly like about it?
I just a panel van. I like the panel van. I like that it ain't got the windows in it, and I was attracted. I didn't know when I went to look at it. I didn't realise it was twin doors, which I hadn't seen many about. So I thought, yeah, this is the one for me. Never owned one before, so this is the first one.
How much do you use it?
Every week if I can, to and from work. It does spend a lot of time in garage, and it should come out more, but that's life, I'm afraid. It's I bought it to use it, but it's turned out as nice as it has done. It's a shame I want to try and keep it as good as it can stay like this.
What's the farthest you've travelled in it?
Skegness, that's about furthest I've been from Doncaster. I live in Doncaster, so Skegness is about furthest I've been.
And what kind of sound system have you got in it?
It's just a Kenwood head unit with a couple of 6x9s and an 800 watt sub. That's it. That's all it is. Gives out a nice sound.
Thank you for that, Dean. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks a lot.
James Woodhead, you've invited me into your opulent Volkswagen. Can you tell us exactly what model this is?
It is a T4 Transporter, a 93.
And are you responsible for this wonderful interior?
I certainly am, yeah.
How long did it take you to finish the vehicle?
It took me a year in doing sort of evenings. If we put it together, it took me about 3 months to do. Everything's all low energy, so I can last for 3 days without even starting the engine. And I just worked from there, really, building it up. And carried on, really. Got heating and TV and leather and
Heating and TV? Yeah. Come on, tell us more about that.
The TV, my brother lives in the States, and I went to see him, and they do quite big screens over there. So when I saw that, I thought, ooh, the dollar to the pound was quite good. So I brought that back. Then on the heating side of it, which actually through my dad, he bought a BT box. Yeah. So I took the heater out of that and converted it to fit it in. So it runs off the diesel tank off the car. And it keeps you nice and warm at night as well.
That's fantastic. And how much modification has been made to the vehicle itself as a van sort of thing? You know, not just the customising.
A lot. Apart from paintwork on the outside, the van itself is in pretty poor shape on the arches. So I've chopped arches out, put new arches in, smoothed all the back end, so it's just got a nice Euro sort of look.
And mechanically, is it just a standard vehicle?
Yeah, it's straightforward 2.4 5-cylinder, which most people think are quite slow, but they're steady, they don't break, and you get where you want to go, and they're reliable.
Well, in my mind, it's absolutely superb. It's beautifully opulent. It's the way to travel. Congratulations. A job well done, I think. Thank you for talking to us about it. Thanks very much. Fantastic. Thank you. I've come over here because I've heard that the guy who owns this car is having engine trouble. I didn't realise it meant that I was going to have a crowd of engines. What is this all about? Tell me.
Well, we're LVC and we're a Volkswagen Owners Club. And basically we just meet up together, and we've been going since 2005.
And where are you based?
It's now actually quite a large area of Yorkshire, although we did start out being Leeds. We're now spread as far as Scarborough and right across to Haworth. So we've got quite a large catchment area now.
So how often do you have meetings, and do you always dress up as Indians?
We always dress up as Indians, except for me. No, seriously, we meet every 2 weeks, so it's quite regular. We did start out meeting every month, but because of the popularity of the group, we ended up meeting up more regularly.
So what do you, sir, get out of this?
Just a hell of a lot of fun. You know, a great social scene, a great set of people. It's something to do all summertime, and in winter we even try and get camping as well if we can. But just really good social and just a really good laugh, really.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for talking to us. I think that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Stewart, you own this Volkswagen Notchback. What can you tell me about it? Well, basically, it's what they call a type-free VW notchback. They did them in 3 different models. They did the notchback, which this is, a square back, which was a estate model, and a fastback, which is more like a sort of Vauxhall Chevette type shape.
Coupe type.
Type, yes.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the Beetle, engine in the rear, air-cooled engine. Did them in 1500cc on the earlier ones, and the later ones are 1600 twin-port engines.
How does it feel driving on the left-hand side?
It's quite good actually, because there's a lot of glass in it. You know, you can see you overtaking. You just look over your shoulder. There's no headrest to worry about. So it's quite, and it's a very easy car to drive.
What do you particularly like about it?
I think I just like the rarity of it more than anything. You know.
I see it's got lowered suspension. Did you do that yourself?
It has, yes. Yeah, I've lowered the suspension. Made it just look more. I like playing with cars, I suppose, really, you know, and the wheels are different to what they would have been as well. It come on steel rims with wheel trims, but other than that, really, not too much done to it. It has got a later engine in this because it's an earlier car. It's got the 1600 engine in it, but other than that, really, it's pretty much stock as it should be, really. Yeah.
This is your son Luke, I understand.
It is, yes.
Luke, can I ask you, what do you like about your dad's car?
It's fast and everyone looks at it.
That's a very good answer. He's very advanced for his age. He's got a better moustache than I've ever had. Well, that's really interesting. Well, thanks very much. It's good of you to talk to us today, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Jamie, this is a Volkswagen Lupo. Yep. Can you tell me something about it?
Yeah, it's different from your average. It's obviously we repainted it candy white and put a 1.8 turbo in it, running a bit different from standard. At the moment it's running at 333 brake horsepower. It's just a bit different from the norm. Obviously, like bodywork's done to it and other things, and obviously the engine work mostly.
Where did the engine originate?
It come out of a Mark 4 Golf 1.8 turbo. Obviously, like both the car damage repairable, and obviously changed the engine from obviously the Golf into the Lupo.
Do you use it just as a road vehicle, or do you do competition?
We're not really been to Santa Pod or anything like that with it. It's mainly just been to a couple of shows, and sometimes gets used as a daily runner.
And what about it do you particularly like?
Obviously, I just like everything about it. I mean, the colour scheme and obviously the engine. Obviously, it's a bit different, so it's a bit of fun to drive every now and then.
And what are you hoping to do with it in the future?
Probably just an interior retrim, and obviously if I get bored, a bit more power, something like that.
So it's not fast enough for you yet?
No, not yet, no. Not yet.
Well, thanks very much for talking to us about it today. You've got here a Volkswagen notchback with wood panelling on the side. Tell me about it.
A guy down in Tottenham bought it, and he built it for himself. Couldn't keep it, so I got it. It's all been customised, and I bought a lot of the accessories for the back, and got custom belts for it. And yeah.
They seem very popular for customising. Is there a good reason for that?
Yeah, because they're easy to lower. It's a bit rough on the bumps and things like that.
I was just going to say, what effect does it have on the driving experience?
Yeah, it's a bit rough, but you just drive protectively.
Do you use it regularly?
Every day. Every day, go to and from work, do all my shopping in it, everything.
So it's fairly high mileage a year?
Yeah, it's fine. It does. I've had no problems with it since I've had it at all. I've had the regulator go and that's it. So yeah, it's really, really good. And we really enjoy it, and everybody sees it, and I drive it everywhere.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really pleased for you.
Yeah, I've been to about 10-15 shows this year already.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a really good year this year.
Good.
Since I've had this.
I'm glad you brought it.
Yeah.
It's good to see it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thanks. Thanks very much
That's
indeed.
Okay, mate.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you. Stuart, I've just been told off camera that actually this car originated in Australia.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It came over in '78, and so it's been registered over here in 1978. So I don't know who's brought it over, but because it's right-hand drive, it's been happy for me really. So I didn't want to get a left hooker really.
Yeah, of course the Australians drive on the same side of the road as us, don't they? Yeah.
I looked out there because I didn't want to get a left-hand drive one, even though I wanted a notchback, but most of them are left because they come over from Europe or America, you see. So I was looking to get an Australian one.
So you don't have any information about its history in Australia at all?
No, I've got no history where it came from over in Australia. That's all I know is it's come over from there at some point, at 78 I think.
I've got to say, that is a very fascinating fact.
Yeah, you don't see many Australians around, so I've been trying to find some Australian plates for it, but nobody does them.
Well, thanks very much for that again, Stuart.
It's okay,
Thank
mate.
you. Cheers, thanks a lot. Daniel, a Skoda police car at a Volkswagen festival. What can you tell me about your car?
Just a Skoda Octavia VRS. The car is based on the police car from the Transformers film.
That's very good. And did you do all this work?
No, my wife did the stickers for the car. A friend applied them, and a friend of my brother's supplied the lights.
Talking about the car itself, do you use it on a regular basis?
Yeah, it's a daily car. Use it for getting around, go shopping.
Do you have to take the sign off the top when you go shopping?
Yeah, the lights have to come off, but the stickers obviously stay on, but the light bar has to come off while you're driving. But no problems with the police so far.
Just remind us why it's here at a Volkswagen festival.
Just come as part of a club stand for VW Cult. Obviously, everyone here is enthusiasts for VW Audi car, or VW Audi Seat Skoda cars. So come for the day out.
So you think it's a good family car?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Nice and spacious.
Yeah. Good. Oh, well, thanks for bringing it along. It's good talking to you about it.
Cheers.